Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Reasons and Resources. So for this one we're looking at D, also known as Dlang, and this one is very much in a bucket, I suppose, of programming languages, along with a few others that I have no exposure to whatsoever. So yeah, my reason for learning this would be both, I suppose, curiosity and where it fits in the sort of grand scheme of things, because as you know from things I've said in previous episodes and other videos, I'm really interested in programming languages patterns, and part of that is also looking at, when you look at a pattern in a programming language, how similar or not is it to the patterns in other programming languages, and you can get a fair idea of what to expect when you start looking at what it was influenced by, what it's subsequently influenced, and maybe find a language that you're already familiar with and think, oh yeah, no, I actually know the code shapes on that, and then see what this new language that you're new to looks like. So yeah, I'm very much coming from that position as far as D is concerned. But some broader reasons why you might want to explore the language. So yep, high performance, high productivity language. So performance on par with C++. But you also get the benefit of like modern language features as well, which wouldn't be necessarily in other languages that it's based on. I'll include links to the Wikipedia article because that's always a good starting point. Other things to look out for in the language that might sort of entice you in. So things like metaprogramming, if you're interested in that sort of thing. So, and also if you, I suppose I came into being interested in exploring programming through patterns, through the paradigm way of looking at languages. What paradigm does a language support? So if you are interested in languages and their paradigms, and you interested in pursuing languages that support multiple paradigms, then there's an interesting list here of the sort of paradigms that D is capable of supporting in there. So yeah. And it's interesting as well within languages, and again I haven't explored D enough to see this yet, how the shapes change as you explore the various paradigms that it can support. And that's always quite interesting, like how does the whichever you lean into, does the code, the way it presents itself on the page, start to look slightly different? That isn't always the case, but I've certainly come across some languages where if you do take more of a functional approach to programming in the language versus another paradigm, definitely the way it looks on the page, the shapes that forms, the pattern forms, start to look slightly different. And that can be really an interesting sort of exercise in and of itself. So other things, safety features. You could be interested in languages that offer safety features that also offer low-level control. Because I know sometimes, if you're used to working in languages which are sort of high performance because you've got a nice degree of low-level control, how robust are they in terms of the safety features? Because sometimes you can sort of do things that you shouldn't really be doing because there's so much low language control. And so it's always interesting when you get languages that have both, have a power to them, but also are robust from a safety standpoint as well. And then other things you might be interested in is that lovely word which I always probably mangle, which is interoperability. I think I got it right that time. So you know how programming language sort of interacts with other languages. And that's based obviously a lot on its history. So you know, if a language was designed from the ground up to work with an existing language, then it's more likely to be interoperable with it. So you probably find, you know, it ticks a lot of boxes in terms of the respect of C and C++. And then the other nice thing you get with more modern languages, I'm just trying to look at the date when I say more modern. It's always amusing to look at the actual dates of these. So 23 years ago. So that's, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I suppose that's fairly modern. But, you know, all the stuff around concurrency and message passing model and various ways in which languages now you know, reflect that multi-core environment in which they've grown up in. Nice way of exploring concurrency features as well. But I'll include both links and sort of deeper links into the articles for the language, including some further reading stuff. Now, as always, we'll have a quick look as part of the sort of, I suppose, reasons section. Where do we see it lining up on our Stack Overflow surveys? So as I've been doing now, and I carry on doing, I will look at the 2004 ones, and then we'll go into the 2005 as well. So for 2004, I'm not sure we'll see D in here, probably not even on here. I don't see it. And I was probably expecting to. What about admired and desired? I think it's probably absent here as well. And my favourite, but sadly no more in the newer Overflow survey, is the top paying. And often stuff like that would bubble up in here. Yeah. Don't see it here either. And then as we move into the modern one, I'll include a link to this so you can sort of poke around and see what you can find with both what we're talking about today and other languages as well. So this is this one from 2025. Oh, Mojo's in there. But don't see D, or sometimes you might see it, I think I mentioned as Dlang. Okay, so on to the sort of meat and potatoes of actually the resources. So, yeah, no surprise, good start. Dlang website. So you can download the Windows installer. There's other downloads as well. And all the good stuff here. So we've got the documentation, the packages, the community, various other useful resources as well about IDEs. So great starting point. It's always nice when you have a language where there's a nice firm resource that you can start off in. We've also got the I think this is technically the tour, isn't it? Yeah, this is the guided tour. So the D language tour. So you can run D language here. My understanding is probably, you know, after initially looking through this and just getting yourself orientated around the site, this is probably the best place to start. So you get a nice tour of the language. But of course we're still inside of the D website, so we can get into all of the other sections as well. Then we got things like Digital Mars decompilers here as well. Use that as a resource. And then we've got Awesome D frameworks, libraries and software, inspired by Awesome Python. It's another very handy resource there as well. And the nice thing, of course, when you've got this, main site, you can go and look up the books. That's why I've not got a separate section for that. Yeah, separate link, because there is so much stuff that you can just get really easy access to through the main website. Things like tools, site development tools, and then what's in the IDE section? Let's have a look. There we go. So yeah, a number of IDE integrations. So moving on to some video resources, there's the D-Language Foundation. We've got a keynote talk here with Walter Bright, and if you go back you can see here 2 designers that are mentioned. Then we've got this interesting D-Language Foundation video here, with both of them, and there's the actual link to the YouTube channel for Dlang. And then I found this interesting one, which is Dlang programming series as well on learning the language, which I thought was pretty cool. So I'll include a link to that playlist. Looks pretty comprehensive there. Dlang is present on Exorcism, if you like poking around on Exorcism. It is there. Goes through the sort of classic exercises that you can do. And again, one of the reasons why I like this website is you can sort of try out the same thing in different languages. But there's quite a number here for you to try out, starting off obviously with the ever popular Hello World and a tutorial exercise for that. And then, on my Programming Polyglot website, not there yet. I think my plan with this is to have a real sort of, I don't know what the right word is, but a real go on it. The end of 2025 into 2026, and fill in some of the gaps and catch up a little bit. I haven't been keeping up. I think, as I said, my main goal when I initially started this was to get through to this point here, and then I just added in, and then I put this list up to sort of inspire me to carry on. But what I've been doing is I've been sort of skipping over certain ones based on how easy I found them to do or whether I'd used them before. And so we've got holes appearing now. But the original, 14 that I was going to do, which is from Lua through to Rust, are here. And so I've just got to do some others. You can see there's D. And then we've got Nim and Zig. Erlang Elixir I've done. C# I did. Gleam I did. But these all follow also in the order, and I'm doing these reasons and resources. And we get up to here, I'm just going to keep adding stuff on any language I haven't mentioned so far that I come across. So we might get things like, I have done, where is it? We've got basic here. Probably going to do VBA at some point as well in the future. Anyway, thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.